All right. Okay. This week, or this chapter, is on division. Okay? The division that we are going over is very similar to the division, or it's very similar to the multiplication chapter. Okay? Right now, I just want you listening, paying attention, and following along. Close it. Now, what you are doing, last chapter with multiplication, the first thing that we did was the properties. Going over commutative, associative, distributive. We don't do that in this one. The next one was patterns. That's what this first lesson is. A lot of the lessons that are in division are very similar to what was in multiplication, except you're doing the opposite. Instead of multiplying, you're dividing. Okay? So a lot of the things will be pretty much the same, it's just you're dividing instead of multiplying. The first one was on patterns. Wait. 9 divided by 3 instead of 9 times 3. 9 divided by 3 is? 3. Now, this is your
divisor.
Whoa! This is your basic math fact. This is what you are looking for in a lot of these problems. Okay? All right? The next one, 900 divided by 3 equals 300. Boom, boom, boom. Now, what you see are the basic facts. I underlined those in green. Underline those in green. This is just your basic fact. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Okay? If you look, next I have a 0 left over, so I bring the 0 over. Here I've got 2 left over, so I bring them both over. This is where it changes just a little bit. Luke, pay attention. Okay? The next problem that I'm going to give you is 900 divided by 30 equals 30. Now, when we did multiplication, this was a multiplication sign, you would add the zeros and add them all up over here. It's a different in division in that you are taking them away. You have 2 zeros here and 1 0 here. 2 minus 1, there's 1 left over. Now, if we look at family of facts, divided by 3 equals 3, and 9 divided by 3 equals 3. Now, if you had 5 times 4 equals 20, it would be different. You would have 4 times 5 equals 20. 20 divided by 5 equals 4, and 20 divided by 4 equals 5. Okay? So that's why I put up 4 of them, because normally with family of facts, there are 4 problems in there. Okay? But with this, if you know that these two times each other are going to equal this, okay, then that means that these two times each other will equal this. And this is where some of the kids in the other class, oh, that's where I can double check. So if you times 3 times 3, you get 9. You have 1 0 plus 1 0, that's where your 2 zeros are. Okay? If you have Now, staying with the way I've been doing it, I'm underlining the basic fact in green. You still have 9 divided by 3 all the way through. Down here I've got 3 zeros. Take away one of them, I still have 2 left. I have 3 zeros. I take away 2 of them, I still have 1 left. Okay? One thing you have to watch out for. This is where the tricky part comes in. That. This. These are your basic problems. And all I'm going to do is put over here a 4. How many zeros do I put on the end of the 4? Pay attention.
Put 2. No, I got it. You only put 1 on the 4.
I only put 1. Because, and you're right, Megan, because this 20 is part of your basic fact. It has a 0, and the reason I'm showing you this is so you don't get confused on it.
Okay.
If you had 63 divided by 7 equals 9, in that number 63, you have 2 digits and none of them are 0. Okay? These 2 digits, one of them is a 0, but it's part of that basic fact. So you don't want to confuse this 0 with these zeros that you're counting or subtracting or adding. Same with what we did with multiplication. So since these 2, the reason I underlined everything in green is to show you where the basic fact is that Megan picked up on. Okay? 5, and we put 1 0 because I have 2 that are left, and I'm taking one of them away, and it's going to leave me with this. So then if I were to multiply 5 times 4, I get 20, and I have 1, 2 zeros that I put in.
2.
You have 2 here, and 1 here that you're subtracting from it, so you should have 1 left over here. Okay? And the reason I put this problem up is so that you don't get confused on it. It would also work with 6 times 5 is, or 30 divided by 5 is 6.
Yeah,
Okay? Anytime that you run into a 10, a 20, a 30, a 40, a 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, you're going to run into this. 10 times 10 with 100. That really throws you off. Okay? But make sure that you know what the basic fact is, and then the other zeros are part of this. Okay? That way you're looking at the patterns. Okay? Today's word. This one. Number 1 is done. I hope you don't miss it, Kane.
Yeah.
He finished part of it in social studies.
All right?
What? Hey.
Now,
That's all
You have 1 to 33 to do. You're sitting there going, oh my gosh, it's so many.
No,
I
I did it in like 5 minutes.
I had in that class, I know that there were 2 kids that were done in about 10 minutes. If you focus on it and quit messing around, you will get it done. Okay?
Okay.